Hello and welcome to Wildcat News D-Block Edition. I'm Amanda Wells.
And I'm Jack Shea. As the weather gets colder and the leaves start falling from the trees, the perfect spirals stop being thrown and the three-pointers start swishing through the basketball hoops. Here's reporter Hannah Russo with more information.
With the high school winter sports season fast approaching, we took the time to talk to some of the coaches and players about their plans and goals for the season. As girls basketball coach Mr. Barrett tells us, he wants the team to progress gradually over the season, eventually working their way to the state tournament.
We want to be better at the end of the season than we are in the early part or middle of the season. I think it's 7 years in a row we've won the conference. We'd like to make it 8, so that's obviously a goal. So we always start with the goal of winning our league, and then obviously preparing for the state tournament and hopefully making a run of some type in the state tournament.
Mr. Barrett, the girls basketball coach, tells us that he believes that there are many players that are more than capable of stepping up to keep the team winning.
You know, you hope that from the time a kid's a freshman, as a sophomore, they get a little bit better. Sophomore to junior, they get a little bit better. And that's just what we expect. It's always been that way. But we've always had really good players, and they graduate. So we'll just go on.
Mr. Antonio, the boys basketball coach, tells us that he is looking forward to the process of developing the new freshmen to create a brand new team.
We had a great group of seniors last year. 8 of them graduated, but with all the high school sports, the seniors move on. You get a new class of freshmen coming up, and it's exciting because basketball is one where you get a lot of people to come out for tryouts. So it's fun, exciting process.
Mr. Antonio explains his plan to condition the athletes.
We run through the same basic sets each year, where we work on skill development, conditioning, team defense, individual defense, the typical basketball progressions.
Mrs. Pope, the former track coach, explains that there will be many underclassmen that will be able to fill the spots of the graduated seniors.
In track, especially winter track, we usually had a lot of student athletes that were either wanted to be sprinters or were very good sprinters. And in any sport, as your seniors graduate, the upperclassmen rise to the occasion and they fill in the spots. So I don't think that there's going to be a problem.
Matthew Lavoie, a player for the ice hockey team, talks to us about developing the offense on the hockey team after losing so many strong seniors.
We had a really good team last year, went undefeated, and our seniors were probably the best 8 seniors in the league. They were really good, so we're going to have to just come back together as a team and rebuild.
Caitlin Pennington, the second-generation cheerleading coach, talks to us about competing with a young team and the fun and exciting prospects for the season.
Having a young team means they come in with only maybe town league experience, which is good because they don't necessarily have the habits that you have to break with a girl who's been on a high school team for a couple years. But the opposite side of that is we lose some of the experience that the older girls bring.
And finally, the state champion gymnastics team, coming off last year's win, draws on talent from both West Bridgewater and Bridgewater Raynham schools to create a more diverse team. On the prospects of this year's season, senior veteran Maddie Brooks says, "We just have to go into the season confident that we will succeed and not let ourselves get too cocky since we won last year's state competition." As we learned from many coaches, they have very young teams and have high hopes that will be to their advantage. To all of the players, we wish you the best of luck this winter season.
As the winter games start being played, the athletes are going to want an audience to witness their many victories. Make sure you come out and support the teams.
Students at the high school have not had PowerBlock challenges since their middle school days, and those challenges were used to make school more exciting for the kids. There is no longer any real competition between classes. This is starting to get some students upset about no PowerBlock challenges being in place. Here's reporter Mike Nowacki with the story.
For high schoolers, PowerBlock challenges are a thing of the past. We asked students if competition between grades has been significantly weak the last few years. We also asked if they want to bring back class challenges and if this will help our school become a more entertaining facility. High schoolers don't do challenges like the middle schoolers do, so we asked high schoolers if they would want to do PowerBlock challenges in high school.
Of course, they're a lot of fun. I like competing with my peers.
Yeah, I think it's a better alternative than advisory for sure.
Yes, because I think they'd be more fun because it's just boring to do PowerBlock.
If we did PowerBlock challenges in high school, what would people win? We didn't know, so we asked some West Bridgewater students.
Like pizza parties, a ton of candy. Honestly, bragging rights are all I need.
And I know in middle school they do pizza party for that PowerBlock, so we could go in terms of that. That's something, Sundays, I don't know, that's something that we could talk with the PowerBlock reps or the class officers and the advisors to come up with some great rewards.
Also, we asked if doing these types of challenges would make school more interesting or motivating.
I think it might make people come to school more just because they know they get to have fun during PowerBlock and stuff instead of just sitting around doing stupid advisories.
Yeah, I love competition. I think competition's healthy. I think it's good. I think it's great as long as everyone, is in good spirit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a lot better than advisory. It's better for team building kind of stuff. People get a lot more into it than they do for advisory.
We asked students and administrators if they believe that high schoolers should also be doing PowerBlock challenges.
I think it would be fun because I think when we do the Pride Weeks in March, and we have the relay races between the classes and so forth, the kids love it. So I think if we were to make that throughout the year, maybe certain times to create some school spirit and camaraderie and stuff, I think it'd be awesome.
I think that they could definitely try to do it in high school. Why not? They're exciting. It breaks apart the day. It motivates students to come to school and have a break from the norm.
Yes, because they're always doing work and they could use breaks sometimes.
Middle school has been doing PowerBlock challenges for years, so we asked some of the middle schoolers if they enjoyed doing PowerBlock challenges.
Yeah, because people want to earn whatever the prizes are.
Yeah, because they're a really fun thing that you can do with your friends.
We do PowerBlock challenges to get the kids excited about school, to compete in a fun way, and to get them motivated to earn things like pizza parties.
We asked some students and teachers if they saw any competition currently between classes.
There's really no competition except the dress-up days. Right now we're doing pajama day and all the other activities.
The classes are competitive, especially Mr. Hyde's and Miss AJ's. It's always a constant competition.
West Bridgewater students and faculty are in support of bringing back PowerBlock challenges to increase the competitiveness in school. Prizes can also be won by the winning class. If you want these types of competitions back in the high school, please talk to your class president and class advisors.
Students and faculty believe that PowerBlock challenges should return to the high school, and if it's going to make the students happier, then why not?
The school parking spaces are filling up more and more every day. If there were ever a need for repairs, the WB parking pass might make enough funds to meet the repair demands. Here's Anthony D'Agostino with the whole story.
The parking pass at WB High School has raised numerous questions from the student body.
It is fair because most of the colleges I'm looking at, parking passes are $200, so $25 compared to that is kind of reasonable.
I think that the parking passes, I think they're pretty fair, but I think that if we're being made to come to school, we should be able to park for free, but I think it makes sense that we have to pay for the parking pass.
Most WB High School students do not know how far the range goes from other schools. Some high schools around the area can be as low as $10, whereas others can be up to $150.
I guess they could make it a little cheaper. I think other schools it's a lot more expensive, so compared to that, I don't know if ours is bad or not.
I don't really know because I don't go to other high schools or didn't come from another high school, but I like to think so, based on what I hear from people in surrounding towns. I think it's up there.
Okay, when we looked into doing this, we did a survey of area schools. Some had charged no parking fee, others paid $25, $50, or up to $100 to park at a local high school. So we wanted to go on the low end to start, so that's why we're at $25.
According to most students who are aware of the pass, this is what they thought.
I think $20 for a parking pass is kind of pushing it. I think probably $10 or $15 would make sense because it is all year, and again, we're being made to come to the school.
I honestly think it's another way for the school to make some money.
Mr. Baldwell had this to say about the parking pass's existence for the school.
Well, we think, as drivers come in, depending on what they get their licenses, we like to look at, we'll continue to have a parking, fee and make sure they register their cars so we know who drives what car in case we need to get into a vehicle or if there's someone has to be moved or if they left their lights on or something like that.
Students at WB High School have always wondered where the $25 a year goes for the parking pass.
I have no idea. They don't tell us anything about that.
I think it goes to a scholarship because the school is getting paid by the town, so that's my hope at least.
I think that it probably just goes towards the budget for the school.
Well, we wanted to make sure there were enough spots for everyone to park, and we do have enough spots throughout the parking lot. But we also knew with the new building, we also have new maintenance things in terms of signage, repainting lines, as well as purchasing the parking pass tickets or stickers every single year. So the money raised goes towards the parking area.
Mr. Bodwell, principal of the WB High, hopefully has answered the student body's questions about the parking pass.
As more and more students obtain their first car and license, they may need to pay a small fee for parking as well as enjoying their time at the school.
Thank you for watching Wildcat News. On behalf of Jack Shea, I'm Amanda Wells. Have a roaring day.